video, we're going to talk about inequalities and their graphs. And an inequality is a statement that compares two expressions. This should be T-W-O. And the solutions are any number that makes the inequality true. Your sheet also talks about an algebraic inequality, which is just an inequality that uses lots of variables. Alright, so inequalities use the greater than symbol, the less than symbol. These two you should know from elementary school. It also uses the greater than or equal to symbol, which just means it has a line beneath it. And it uses the less than or equal to symbol, which is a less than sign with a line beneath it. Since the solution of an inequality is not going to be just one number, when graphing this inequalities answers, you can use a graph to show all the solutions. So we would graph it on a number line, and we would pick the number that we actually got, plus all the numbers above or below it, depending on if it was greater than or less than. We would graph using either an open dot, such as this one, or a closed dot. And an open dot means it's just greater than or less than, and a closed dot means it's greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. And we're going to look a little bit more of that as we move forward. So let's look at a few examples. So if we've got some keywords and phrases, and as we look at these keywords and phrases, I want you to fill them into the chart that's in your notes. So if there are fewer than 25 students in the class, we would write this as x is less than 25. So I want you to put the fewer, or even fewer than, in the part of the chart that talks about less than. Now what if we said above 18? That means we would write the expression of x is greater than 18. If we said there are at least 15 dogs in the park, then our inequality is x is greater than or equal to 15. So put at least in your chart where it says greater than or equal to. It looks like this. If we said no more than, then we're saying x is less than or equal to 50. So put no more than in the less than or equal to part of your chart. What if we said there are at most 31 days in a month? At most is a way of expressing less than or equal to. If we said there is more than, then that's just another way of saying greater than. So when we say there is more than $282 in the bank, we're saying x is greater than $282. So these are some phrases that you can fill in to your chart that's in your notes. So make sure you have copied these into your notes. These are just some of the keywords and phrases that we will see as we talk about inequalities over the next few days. Okay, so let's talk about how do we graph inequalities. So when we graph inequalities, we're going to use a number line. And you don't have to draw the whole number line. But so let's say we're going to start here. I'm going to start this one at -2. 0, -3, -4. And this expression says x is less than -2. And remember I talked about open dot and closed dot. So this has just the less than symbol. So we're going to use an open dot right here at -2. And I'm going to shade in everything that's less than -2. Now this says -3 is greater than or equal to y. Did I do that first one right? X is less than -2. -2 is greater than, okay. -3 is greater than or equal to y. -3, -4, -5. So this time, I want to use a closed dot, and I'm saying -3 is greater than y. And since it's greater than y, I'm going to go this way. No, I don't want to go that way. I'm going to go this way. It's greater than y. That means y is less than -3. I still want my closed dot. Sorry. Okay. Here I'm going to say g is greater than 7. So if I draw it again, open dot, whoop, not negative though, 8, 9, open dot at 7, everything that way. And then here, m is less than or equal to 0, 1, 0, negative 1. So m is less than or equal to 0. That means 0 is our greatest number. Close dot at 0. And I'm going to shade this way. Alright, so this is how we graph inequalities. What if we want to write an inequality based on a graph? So here we have negative 2, we have an open dot, and it's greater than everything here. So negative 2 is greater than, and we're just going to say x. Okay, what about this one? We have 4, and it's a closed dot, greater than or equal to x. Here we have 1 is less than x. And it was an open dot, and we're shading everything above that. Here we have negative 1 is less than or equal to x, because everything greater than that 1 is shaded. So that is how we would graph inequalities. So this is how you would do graphing inequalities and their graphs. Now I think you have some more examples in your notes. Why don't you finish those tonight, and we'll talk about them in class tomorrow.